Right, 3 cracking semi-finals in the men's 4 hurdles. Now it's the turn of the women. 8 women in this age group in Europe have gone inside 58 seconds. And this first semi-final packed with talent, especially in lanes 4, 6 and 7. Alia Aguiralde set that PB at 59.25 just at the very end of July, and she's going to have to get out hard. Alexandra Uta, the Romanian, 3rd 2 years ago in Jerusalem. She's getting back towards her best. Petra Lalic, 2nd best in Europe in this age group this year, 56.97. Lopez ran 59.16 in qualifying, looks bouncy, poised and ready. Norua in really good form. She's part of Femke Bol's group, 57.18. Gianna Luidou of Greece, only 17 and already a sub-1 minute performer. Vinals of Andorra will be 2nd from the inside, national champion 60 metres indoors as well as the 4 hurdles. And Julia Worth of Switzerland, 58.87. So Worth on the inside, Vinals Andorra 2, Gianna Luidou of Greece in 3, Norua of the Netherlands, 18 years of age in 4, Lopez France 5, Lalic Hungary 6, Uta in your picture there in 7. Very experienced and coming back to something like her best form, and Aguiralde on the outside for Spain.
On your mark.
Only 2 guaranteed to come back for the final, plus the 2 non-automatic spots. Uta in 7, coming back towards her best. Norua in 4 is in form, and Lalic, one of Europe's finest. Not all of them can make it automatically. Fascinating race in prospect. First of 3 semis, women's 4 hurdles. Well, Norua has had the opportunity to train with Femke Bol, so she's been working with the very best. It's a conservative start from her. Uta, meanwhile, has already eaten up the stagger on Aguiralde on the left of picture. And Lalic running really well. No move yet from Norua in the centre of your picture, trying to close down on Lopez. Uta and Lalic side by side. And Uta's coming back at Lalic. She's in front at the moment, the Hungarian, but Uta, eyes firmly fixed forwards, but watch for the Dutch woman now coming through in the centre, although she's starting to show some signs of fatigue. Uta, Lalic and Norua trying to battle through. Oh, so close. Uta took it very tight on the line between Norua and Lalic for the 2nd spot, very tight. Uta showed real class there because Lalic closed her down at around about 200 metres, but she didn't panic, and round that 2nd bend she bit back Uta and really showed her form and her dominance.
Yeah, we didn't quite see it there, but Uta had a bit of a stumble just before the 8th hurdle, but recovered very quickly. She might have been changing her stride and just slightly misjudged the approach to the hurdle, but nevertheless got over that. Lalic wasn't able to take advantage. She probably didn't realise what was going on, and then Uta very quickly got back into her running and was really very, very quick between the hurdles, between the 8th and 9th and 9th and 10th. There we see it. And Norua, well, she's just grown in stature. She had a great heat run, and I'm pretty sure that's close to her personal best, if not a new one. It's just outside the personal best for Norua. It's Uta. Just remember, Uta's just 17 years of age.
Uta and Norua making it through. Lalic and Vinals will have to wait. At the very least, Vinals is going home with a new national record for Andorra.
Moment, our attention switches back to the track and the women's 400 metres hurdles 2nd semi-final. And Metatumba, the world under-20 champion and French under-20 record holder. On the outside, Zoe van Gils gets through as the fastest non-automatic qualifier from the heats. Veronika Gadashka, she's quick on her day. 56.87 last year, hasn't been quite such good form. Meta Tumba, French under-20 record holder at 55.59. Arabella Wilson ran really well in her heats. Wilson. Ikonen. That's a huge cheer, as you'd expect, and she could be in contention for a place on the final. I'm sure she'll be urged on by everyone in this crowd. Savenkova, Czech runner. She's been doing really well in the heats, got through. Personal best in the heats. Bogdanovic of Serbia in lane 2, and Koneka of Slovakia in the inside lane. From the inside, Koneka, Bogdanovic, Savenkova, Ikonen, Wilson, Tumba, Gadashka and Van Gils. Meta Tumba very much the favourite to progress. And indeed, Tumba is away very quickly. She's already closing down on Gadashka on her outside. Tumba very quick between the hurdles. She's a very good 200 and 400 metre runner as well. Also running well on her inside. Wilson at the moment having a great run. So it's very much France and Britain at the moment leading the way, coming up to the halfway point in this race. Tumba now is passing Van Gils on the outside, but Arabella Wilson isn't giving up any ground whatsoever to Tumba. On her inside though, Ikonen spurred on by the crowd. The crowd are willing Ikonen to get up there with the leading pair. Wilson stutters before that hurdle. That's opened the door for Ikonen as Tumba starts to streak away, using her strength and speed between the hurdles to pull away. Wilson recovers though. It's going to be Tumba followed home by Wilson. Ikonen, I think she's quick enough to take one of the hot seats at the moment. So unofficially 57.47 for Meta Tumba.
Gadashka stopped running down the back straight. She left her run late in the heats, so I thought perhaps she may have a little problem. Wilson ran really well and put Tumba under a little bit of pressure there.
All the way through to the 9th hurdle, Wilson just stuttered there. And I thought Ikonen was going to come back at Wilson.
But she has gone into one of the non-automatic spots because Vinals had the second of the non-automatic spots with that national record for Andorra of 59.60. So Ikonen moves just behind Lalic. Lalic the quickest of the non-automatic qualifiers with 57.51 and Ikonen 57.99. Tumba ran well, but I'm not sure she's on peak form at the moment.
I would agree completely. I think that's a very fair comment. Tumba 57.45. But when you look at the likes of Uta in the first heat, who actually just ran faster anyway, but just looked so much more impressive anyway. But a good run as well for Arabella Wilson to seal her place in the final as well. Credit to the Briton. We turn our attention to the women's 400 metres hurdles and the last of the 3 semi-finals.
Well, what a lineup this is. We've had excellent wins so far from Uta and Tumba. Who's going to take the initiative here? Could be very close between lanes 4, 5, 6 and 7. Not much to separate them in terms of quality. And the non-automatic spots, 57.51 for Lalic and 57.99 for Ikonen. Martina Zanino on the outside for Spain, just a fraction inside 59 seconds this year. Stephanie Okoro of Great Britain, Commonwealth Youth Gold a couple of years ago, top 10 on the European list, A PB in July inside 58 seconds. Mashenienkova with exactly the same time this season. Brilliant in qualification. Nina Radova, semi-finalist in the World Juniors last year, European Under-18 champion and brother to Michael Rada, who's already made the men's final. Viola Hambridge, national champion of the 4 and 4 hurdles, the Estonian in 4. Nathaniel, national champion and a bronze medalist in the national championships over the 200 as well. Neves of Portugal, second from the inside with that familiar bright green strip. And running in lane 1, the tall figure of Liv Gret Buchner, national championship bronze for the last 2 years, 59.09. So the non-automatic times again, just inside 58 seconds. Lalick and Heikkinen. This could be so close. Hambridge, the Estonian in 4, is the fastest in the field, but there Okoro, second from the outside. She's had a cracking season. Radova in 5. There she is. A great gold in the European Under-18s last year. Hambridge 4, Radova 5. Mashenienkova in 6, Okoro 7. 4 women separated by tenths of a second this season, and only 2 of them guaranteed a place in the final. This could be close. An atmospheric, balmy Friday evening unfolding in Finland. And a great race now over the 4 hurdles. Okoro, left of picture, has gone out very, very hard. I hope she's got enough to hang on towards the end. Mashenienkova trying to go with her. No move yet from Hambridge in the middle of your picture, or from Radova. Twin to Michael Rada. Now Hambridge tries to close the gap on Radova. Okoro still leading, but inevitably they're beginning to come back to her. Has she gone too hard too early, or has she timed it to perfection? Hambridge coming through on the inside, stutters into that barrier. Now Mashenienkova, the Ukrainian, past Okoro. So it's Estonia from Ukraine. This has been a great run from Hambridge, it really has. Radova's out of it at the moment. And now Hambridge can afford to jog over the line in the early evening sunshine. Hambridge from Mashenienkova. Okoro was bold and brave, but in the end she couldn't hang on. She went too hard too early, understandably so, because she had no idea what was going on her inside. No place in the final for one of the famous twins from Czechia. Hambridge and Mashenienkova will be the only ones to make it through, and Hambridge not only into the final, but with a PB as well.
Yes, and it's Hambridge who's the fastest qualifier, the Estonian. I think I mentioned yesterday, hasn't had far to come. Quick trip over the Baltic, and then about an hour and a half in by train or car. She's rocketing along here. She's absolutely flying between the hurdles. Really impressive performance. And of course, the fastest of the semi-finals. Behind her, Mashenienkova, holding her form, starting to tire. Shoulders going from side to side. Okoro was closing on her, but the track just ran out for the Briton. Wondering, that might well be an Estonian under-20 record. We'll bring you up to date on that one.
Disappointment for Okoro. I do think she ran the right race, actually, knowing how tight they all were in terms of PBs and the fact that she was second from the outside. Hambridge, a great win and a massive PB. Mashenienkova also through to a mouth-watering final.
Well, you're talking about running the right race, and I think you're absolutely right. There will be occasions when athletes in these semi-finals, particularly in semi-finals like this, just look at those qualifying times with Hambridge getting that personal best of 57.16, who are not going to make the semi-finals, but can be very, very proud of their performances. Not just Okoro, but many other runners as well.
Hey, I'm Ellis Fitzgerald, and you need to go and sign up to European Athletics U20.